What's up, guys? It's your man Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the first of hopefully many episodes of Side Hustle Saturdays. The purpose of Side Hustle Saturdays is we know a lot of guys in this community. We talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about being able to work for yourself, not having a boss, etc., etc. And very few people are able to just walk off the job because they have a pocket full of money and just start a business. The way it usually starts is that they take a side hustle and then they work on that side hustle until it replaces their income, and then of course then they become their own boss. So that's what we're going to discuss today. We're gonna talk. Well, that's what we're going to be discussing here over the next few Saturdays, is how to start a side hustle, what's involved, and today specifically we're going to talk about making a bunch of money flipping phones. So my co-host for this particular broadcast is Jeff D. I'm going to call you JD because I don't know if you want your proprietary information out
That'll
there.
work. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, very good. So JD. Now, I think I met you at a convention a few years back, like live and in person. Am I wrong about that?
That's right. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
that's
was
right.
2018.
2018, man. So
Mhm.
so talk to my audience quickly about how you got into the side hustle game, because when you and I talk about this stuff on the phone, you're very excited about it. Give my audience sort of the Reader's Digest version on how you got started, the advantages, the pros, the cons, and things of that nature.
So how I got started in this exact business is I had a friend that was doing this, and he was buying and selling phones locally. And
Okay.
at the time, I had been online for, let's say, about 5 years, and
Okay.
all of my success came from buying and selling products online and not having to meet anyone ever. And so
Wow.
when I saw people doing this, buying and selling phones locally, really my first thought was pretty judgmental. I was like, that seems like a massive waste of time and
Sure.
resources and potential for this individual that's doing this. And so here I am, 2 or 3 years later, coming crawling back to that same friend saying, "Hey man, look, I've had a few bad losses online. I had an Amazon store get taken down.
Wow.
A competitor ordered my products and then said that they weren't real. And after fighting Amazon for months and months, I finally just had to give up. At some point you're a full time fighting for your Amazon account back that you're not looking like you're going to get back person, right?
Right. Right.
And so I was like, look, I just need to get back in the groove of making money on a regular basis, you
Okay.
know. And when you're in business and you're winning, you feel like you're never going to lose.
Right.
And when,
Oh,
and
yes.
when you're losing, you feel like you're never going to win again.
Right. Right. Oh, yeah. I know the feeling.
Uh, it's uh, it's hard because you can make bad decisions based on the fact that you think you're going to be winning forever, and then you
Right.
can make hasty decisions, or you can lose your self confidence and your ability to actually make something happen. And so what I did is harder than having a job and then going to a side hustle.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
wow. Okay.
people with a job think it's hard because they have less time, and I think it's easier because they have their money taken care of. So anything that they make, they can just kind of stack up that side account
Sure.
and make it that bigger and bigger,
Right.
right?
Right. 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 Yeah, that makes sense.
So I went to him and I said, "Hey man, help me out. I just need to like figure out how to kind of have some wins here." And I had showed him some business ideas in the past that he made some money on, and so he said, "Sure, I'll show you everything."
Okay.
And so I took the plunge, thinking maybe I'll get a phone every here and there, and just kind of like decide what I'm going to do in the meantime. I
Okay.
didn't have an intention of making this a full time thing.
Okay. So how did it, what was the, I guess, the aha moment? When did this become a full-time thing? Because obviously I'm assuming you do this full-time now, correct?
I do, yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah. So when did it hit you? Hey, you know what? I actually think I can do this full time, because I remember you and I are texting back and forth. You're like, "Yo, this is crazy." When was that aha moment for you when you realized, okay, I can do this full time and make some real money?
It definitely didn't happen right away.
Okay.
Because right off the bat, you're messaging a lot of people and you're not necessarily getting a deal, same hour, same day even.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so even my first deal was like, let's say day three, and I made $110. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Then you start doing the math on like if I did that every day, that'd get most of the bills paid, right? I'd be in the right range.
Sure.
And I think maybe the second or third week, I met a guy. He had 2 phones, and it was maybe 15 minutes of my time, and I
Okay.
made $150. Let's say.
Okay. All right. There you go.
And so so I started thinking, okay, maybe there's something here. And I remember I live about an hour from New Orleans,
Okay.
and I had decided, okay, I'm gonna like try to chalk my schedule full of deals, and I'm gonna
Okay.
go out to New Orleans. And so I went out to New Orleans, and that day I think I made like $700.
Wow. Holy shit, man.
Yep. So I got like a laptop, I got like several phones, and
Okay.
then
Okay.
it just kind of you start having wins like that, and you start thinking, okay, there's like I know I probably can't do that every day, but let's
Sure.
figure out how to do
Sure.
that like once a week.
Okay.
And once a week, it seems like even now, once a week, I'll have this like crazy day that'll be way above average,
Okay.
where that'd be enough for most people to not have a job anymore just
Right.
in that one day. And then the
Yeah.
rest of the days are sort of like the bonus money.
Listen, $700 a week is a lot of money, man. Like $700 a week. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, before, after taxes, whatever.
Right.
That's. I would, and I don't know what the stats are, but that's a lot of money. That's more than I think most people make after taxes. $700 a week. That's no
Yeah.
small feat, man. I mean, we're talking $36,000 a year, roundabout. Well, yeah, roundabout $36,000 a year, working 4 days, possibly 5 days per month.
Well, yeah. Okay. So $15 an hour. It's
Yeah.
not a bad,
Right.
considered a good number, right?
Right. Right.
That's $600 a week before you get taxes.
There you
Before
go.
you get taxed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the guys, and I'll talk about this later, but one of the ways I get more deals is I have a guy that picks my phones up for me.
Okay.
And I remember at the time he has a wife and 2 kids, and he was making about 15 an hour. And so after taxes, good, not a whole lot. And I still, I probably never will take this for granted, but yeah, to make $600, $700 in one day.
Yeah.
You start thinking about people that are making, like you said, 15 to 18 an hour.
Yeah.
Having
Yeah.
trouble taking that home after a whole week
Yes.
of like work for someone else. They don't
right.
they don't want to be there. They having a job is someone paying you to do something that you wouldn't otherwise do.
Right. Right.
I heard someone say it today. Is that genius or what?
Yeah, that's actually very good. That sounds like something Aaron Clary would say.
Yeah.
Having a job is having someone pay you to do something you wouldn't otherwise do. That's brilliant. I like it. But you're right. You're right. Like, you think about it this way. And I don't want to get too far off into the weeds here, but we always say to ourselves, okay, do you love what you're doing? If you were set for life financially, if you had a bazillion dollars in the bank, would you still do what you're doing? If the answer is no, you have a job. If the answer is yes, then you're doing something you love to do. Even if I were set for life, if I had $1 billion in the bank, I would still be doing what I'm doing right now. And that's why I know I love what I do. Most people, JD, don't love what they're doing. And a lot of people, they like the idea of working for themselves, calling their own shots, writing their own check, making their own schedule. So take me through how you first, is there a system that you have to do? Is there a group that you have to be a part of, or is it just scouring Craigslist looking for deals? How does one go from start to finish?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Like, as a side point, I have not had very good luck in business life, not knowing who the buyer would be. And a lot of people take chances in business where they don't know they don't know that they're going to make money before they start. And when it comes to buying phones, you have, and I'll share more about this, but you can have a price list. There's price list of like, if it has a broken front screen, or if it has a broken back screen or broken camera, like what's the exact price that you can get for it? And granted, there's ways to get, let's say, more than that, but at least you have something to base that off of.
Okay.
You're not just going out there, like you said, scouring Craigslist.
Right.
And sort of just, and that's why I can, and a lot of times that's why I can get more deals, is because I know that I don't need to get it for, let's say, 400, like 500 is a perfectly good price.
Okay.
And the untrained eye is thinking, man, let me try to like lowball this guy.
Sure.
And then someone that's a little bit more professional that has an actual sheet. It's like, hey man, $100 a deal. That works for me. $500. Boom. Let's go.
Okay.
And so, to answer your question direct, is the best place to find them really, if you're going to go out and look for them currently, is Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, Facebook Marketplace. Okay.
Man, Facebook Marketplace is, it's made Craigslist obsolete. There's
Wow, dude, listen, I did not know that.
Craigslist
Did
is
not
gone,
know
dude.
that.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's and here's the thing. I haven't been on Craigslist forever. I can't
Yeah.
remember the last time I was actually on Craigslist, but I didn't realize that Facebook Marketplace had essentially replaced, because Craigslist now it's kind of like the back page of
It is.
yeah, right. I mean, because there's all sorts of weirdos and men looking for a woman.
Yeah.
I want you to pour hot wax on me and dress like a cow and moo and yay. It's all kinds of crazy nonsense. So yeah, so Craigslist. So I'm sorry. So Facebook Marketplace. That's where you're finding most of your deals.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and imagine trying to find a deal, and you send an email to a nameless, faceless person,
Sure.
and you have to check your email to actually get a response, as
Oh, that's
opposed to sending
right.
a DM on a social platform where you can see like their picture,
Oh,
things that they post about. I mean, you can decide if you want to do business with this person like
okay.
pretty thoroughly before you even meet them. And
Wow. Okay.
so there's a lot more social trust there.
Okay.
And think about like people are already on Facebook, so all
Of
you have to do
course.
is like, instead of clicking right here, they just click like right there, and then they're in the marketplace.
Wow. I
And
like that.
so like if you post, I'll give you another example. If you post something like at a good deal on marketplace, you'll wake up and you'll have 100 messages.
What? Oh, wow. Wow.
So, or on the other side, which can be hard, is like if somebody posts a good deal, they could get 100 messages.
Okay.
And so again, we can cover like how to be the person that they pick.
Oh, wow.
This
That's
is
great.
This is going to sound very familiar to some of the probably like the dating advice you give.
Of
Right?
course, of course.
Giving them your number and getting them off the app, and like,
That's right. That's right.
some of the same rules apply.
Okay.
Being aggressive, being assertive, and like directing to the point, and knowing what your numbers are, making an offer, and saying, "Hey, let's meet like right now," sort of thing.
Good.
And so yeah. So anyway, so Facebook Marketplace is where you find the deals.
Okay.
As far as if you're going to reach out and find them.
Okay.
But one of the better ways now, and one of the things that I do now that I've sort of, I guess, evolved in the process and thought of ways to make it easier, I came across a lot of people that were doing paid ads and having success with that.
Oh, okay.
So basically, like, you ever drive around town and you see people that say, like, "We buy houses"?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right. Or we buy ugly houses or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a whole franchise system with that.
Okay.
The reason you see those is because it works. You wouldn't see them if they weren't getting calls.
Very true.
So that same concept works with phones, and all you're doing is I'm literally like, I could take a picture of me holding this phone,
okay,
like that, and then just write over some messages on like Canva.
Yeah.
My phone's broken, locked, financed, all that.
Okay.
And almost like the more sketchy the ad looks, the better it performs. I recently made a Christmas ad thinking, "Oh, I'm genius," right? Like Christmas phones, like yay, like glitter falling out and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Just
look too professional. Right, because it looked too professional. They think they're buying from a company instead of an individual.
Yeah, like I've had people hit me up and say, they said, yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a scam. I was like, that's why it worked.
Yes.
They had to know.
Yes.
When I answered them like normally,
yeah,
or in their language, because you deal with people that don't always speak proper English, which is perfect for me. So I hit them back with like, "What's ham?" Like I'm very informal, and then I connect with them, and then boom, okay, so now we got a deal. And now the entire city isn't hitting them up for that deal; they're coming straight to me.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
So Art with the 1.79 British pound super chat says, "Hi, do you provide consultations for starting off?"
I do. I did a webinar called Max iPhone Profits a few weeks back.
Okay.
And I guess I'll have to shoot. I forgot to put that on my Patreon.
That's okay.
I forgot to get you the Patreon. We'll get that in the future.
Okay.
But
listen, we can put all of the. I'll put all of the links to get a hold of you.
Okay.
After, because I can get Dev to put in all the links for consultations and email and all that good stuff. That's a good question.
Yeah, and in the meantime, go on Facebook and just add yourself to the group Smart Flippers, and that's the group that I run there.
Smart Flippers. So
Yep.
Smart Flippers on the Facebook group. That's actually what I was going to tell you about next, or ask you about next. How helpful is the Facebook group Smart Flippers? Is that how instrumental is that in your success, or is it just kind of a club?
So I started that. I came out with a paid course right out the bat.
Okay.
And I realized, that wasn't the right move. Essentially, you got to build some trust in the community. So I was like, the group's free. And all I'm going to do is, instead of doing deals on my own and not talking about them to anybody or posting them on my Facebook page, which, not everybody's on my Facebook page.
Sure.
For me to tell them that I flipped the phone and made $100, right? It's just,
right.
What I mean? It's just like a general mix of people that from all different interests. And so I said, okay, like now, if you want to hear about my flips, come to this group instead. And so in that group, I just talk about all the different deals that I do. I don't just flip phones. I flip in Nerf guns, wood.
Oh, there we go.
It's all the same. It's all the same process. And so, my biggest interest and my biggest passion, like you were mentioning within that, is just figuring out like new niches and new creative ways to find deals and make something from it.
Now, why is that a passion of yours? Is it just the thrill of the hunt, or are you just trying to make as much money as humanly possible?
Well, I started out saying, okay, only phones.
Okay.
And then the pandemic messed me up because there was less deals to be had for a while. Because although in my state we weren't really locked down, people were sort of voluntarily moving less.
Okay.
And so my buddy hit me up. He's like, dude, you gotta buy and sell weights. Dude, they're going crazy, like weight gym equipment.
Yes.
I was like,
part of that craze. I was part of that craze because during the pandemic, that's when I really essentially built my gym. So your friend wasn't lying, but
I'm like, how am I going to ship these weights? It's crazy. And so after he bugged me about it 2 or 3 times, I said, okay, fine. I'm going to go, I'll find something. And I bought a little like starter deal. It's like a little maybe bench, like a dumbbell type bench.
Okay.
I think it had like a couple of 40-pound dumbbells and something else. And I think he charged me like $100.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I was able to sell the dumbbells for the $100.
Whoa.
I'm like, wow, okay. So now I got a free bench. So I sold the bench for, let's say, $60.
Okay.
And so the wheels start turning a little bit. And then I found a
profit margin.
What was that?
That's a 60% profit margin,
right? Right. So then I found then I circled back and I found a dumbbell set. And I think it was like, it looked like a commercial, I can't remember the brand, but it was like a commercial stand for the dumbbells.
Okay.
And the dumbbells were really nice. They were like kind of like the older circular type, like normally they aren't, but it was straight like chrome steel. So they're really nice.
Okay.
And he had them for $300. I hit him up aggressively, got him. A dude traded me the stand alone for like a $2,000 elliptical that I needed at the time.
Wow.
Training for an ultra. And and I could not run that much. So I had to have this. And so I was like, okay, that's amazing. And then the dumbbells, I listed the 25s, and the 25s, a pair of them sold for $247.
Whoa! What?
And that cost $21 to ship with USPS at the time, right?
Holy God, man!
So
that's huge. Listen, that's huge. See, gym weights and gym equipment. I mean, those are always high profit margins because people who are looking for gym equipment, they're always motivated to buy it right now. And the reason I know this is because I used to be that guy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, let's say you can't just go to the store and get what you want.
Sure.
And then the second it comes up, chances are you've already had to wait. So you're having to fight with other people to get it.
God.
I rode that wave.
Wow.
I maxed that sucker out. I had a 2-car garage and I had no space left at all times. I just had it maxed to the fullest. And I really wasn't I wasn't charging a ton because I was providing a service. Meaning I would charge, let's say retail price. So used ends up being like retail.
Okay.
All these other clowns out there were trying to get, all these expensive prices. I didn't make them bid $247. You know what I
Okay,
mean? I just
okay,
put it
yeah.
up there for 50 and it went that high. I
Wow.
stopped doing that though, because to tape these suckers up, I mean, you're having to like
Oh god,
reinforce the
yeah.
box.
Of
So I
course.
switched to only selling local, to where dumbbells, I'd sell them at like $1 a pound.
Okay,
But I
okay,
would
that's fair.
buy, right, that was fair, And my goal was like just to move volume. And people usually when you sell something, you think, okay, I got a bench, I got a bar, I got a
Uh-huh.
dumbbell, I got a dumbbell bar, easy curl, I got some weights, and I got some dumbbells.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna just get it all gone at once. And so now I'm taking the buy and bulk concept. So let's say they had all
There
that
you
for
go.
$500.
There
Boom,
you
I'm
go.
buying all that.
Okay,
And then
okay.
next thing you know, I'm listing it to buy one by one.
There you go. And it doesn't
And
take long
so,
to make your money back, does it?
oh wait, what? Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you would almost all the time. I'd make all my money back on, like, let's say the bench and the bar,
Okay.
or like I'd sell the weights and I'd have all my money back. So like I'd end up being so deep into the profit so fast that it wouldn't even, it was hard to track as a matter of fact, because somebody would need 245s, or
Right,
they would need
right,
one bar. But
right,
really you
right.
bought like a bench, you bought a squat rack, and
Oh,
then you bought
yes.
all
Oh,
these
yes.
weights. So, but yeah, it was double to triple your money all day
Mm.
long for like 6 to 8 months. It was crazy.
Holy moly, man. Yeah,
Mhm.
I was a part of that craze, man. I spent a little over $25,000
Oh my god.
on my home gym, but all the stuff that I bought, I wanted all brand new stuff. I got
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I've
you got the
showed
rubber
people videos.
plates and
Yeah, right. The
yeah,
bumper plates and all that good stuff. I wanted to make sure it was all legit, and it's certainly. I mean, it's obviously beneficial. So, Casual Germ says dumbbells were scarce and expensive as fuck in 2020. Yeah, he is absolutely right about that. So,
yeah.
so somebody is watching this for the first time. They're like, "All right, JD, I like what I'm hearing. What I don't know. Where do I start? What do I need to? What do I need to have?" Software, hardware, what do I need to have to start this to start this side hustle thing?
Well, if you're wanting to if you're going at it from a general point of view and you want to flip, if you would like the idea of just buying things and reselling things, not necessarily phones,
Mhm.
um, the way you could get started is like one of two of the easiest ways. Probably we'll call it three ways. One is like look for free items,
Okay.
or
Wow. Okay.
sell items. Offer to sell items for people for free,
Okay.
and a lot of times they'll give you stuff for free. Um,
Okay. Okay.
like I helped my buddy liquidate his gym after the pandemic. He was moving offices. He said, "Hey, can you help me sell this stuff?" Well, I had sold him all this stuff. So I couldn't buy it back,
Of course, of course, of course.
like, because I couldn't, because it was post pandemic. So I was like, dude, it's gonna feel bad if I like make you an offer at this point, because the
Oh
prices
my
are going
god,
down.
yeah. Right,
I was
right.
like, look, I'll just sell it for you for free, no problem.
Okay.
Well, at
Okay.
the end of it, he gave me like a $4,000 chicken cage. We're raising
Sure.
chickens and all that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course,
So,
of course.
and of course, I probably can't sell that for 4,000, but I could sell that for 500.
Yeah, of course. And you got it free.
And and now I would know, if I didn't know it before, I would know the pricing on the weight market, so I'd know if I
Okay.
had a good deal. Right, that's
Yes.
how I would learn,
Okay.
and I would know the chicken game. Right, I
Yes.
would know, like, wow,
Chicken
like
game. I love it.
the chicken cage game going on. So one of the ways you can really really learn is just offer to list things for people for free. And a lot of people say, well, you make something, and then you say, okay, well, then you say, well, I'll take 25% of it or something like that, because you have
Sure.
gas, you have some time,
Of course.
um, and so that works. The other thing is looking for things that you need for yourself anyway,
Okay.
and
Okay.
taking your time. Let's say taking a week to find the best deal possible,
Okay.
and when you find the best deal possible, you buy it. You have to not be emotional about it, and then you list it for sale for more.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
then
when you
that's the way
say
you can have exactly what you want at all
Mhm,
times and
mhm.
make money off of it at all times. That's what a lot of car flippers do. Watch flippers. They
Okay.
use their product in the meantime, and then they flip it as well.
That's incredible. So in terms of flipping stuff, just like you said, you can flip items as big as cars, watch. I mean, you can really get into some high ticket stuff.
Yeah.
Um, when do you? How can I put this? Because a lot of people are looking to, and again, I want to make this clear. How long did it take you to really start making the kind of money to where you're like, you know what, I can do this full time? Because a lot of guys get excited about this stuff. They're like, man, I want to jump into this head first. How long did it take you to realize, okay, I can do this full time? Was it the next week or was it months?
It was within the first month for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say that like if you have $200 to your name to flip stuff, it would be harder, obviously.
Of course. Of course.
Because that like what I didn't realize when I first started flipping phones is I'm trying to think. It was probably month 2 or or end of month 2 because Mardi Gras was going on. I met a
Right.
guy who sold me a new phone, and
Okay.
I remember being like super scared because it was expensive, and I just no one wants to lose money. Even
No,
if
of
you have
course.
money, no one's trying to lose money.
Of course.
And so I bought that from him. I ended up buying a few more phones from him, and it wasn't till later on that I realized like, wow, the good money, the great money is buying newer phones. So
Okay.
we're talking like right now the 13 Pro Max came out, and then
Okay.
there's the
Yep.
12 Pro Max, and then let's
Yep.
say maybe the 11 Pro Max behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 models are where you probably could make your let's say 80%, 80-20 type rule. You can
Okay.
make 80% of your profits just as easily as it would take to like hustle and bustle to buy those older phones.
Okay.
Um, and so you would need probably a couple of grand at least on hand
Okay.
to that you didn't mind putting out there and waiting on a little bit to get back. So
Okay.
yeah, I know you're right. People do want to really jump into things and really get
Yes.
aggressive. Because the pain of having a job is like so real and so bad, it's so bad.
Absolutely, man. Of course.
Again, they're paying you to do something you don't want to do and to hang out with people you don't even like.
Oh God. Yes. Yes.
It's
Oh
so
my
bad, man. It's so bad. And I think a lot of guys like and girls just fooling ourselves that it's okay, that we're doing okay.
Sure. Sure.
And them damn benefits are not that good.
No.
No.
No. I've been a cash customer for my doctor for years. Eventually, I'm going to have to get health insurance, but fortunately, I'm in a position. I'm in a position to be sort of be a cash customer. Let me let me ask you one last question, and I think I know exactly what we're going to talk about next week. And I don't want to tell you because I don't want to get too far into it, but I think it's going to be a really good episode. So what would you tell guys who are on the fence about this? They're like, okay, this sounds great. And it sounds, I mean, this is obviously not get rich quick. Like we get that. But if someone is on the fence and they're like, yeah, it just sounds like it's just too much time looking for deals, et cetera, et cetera. How much time conceivably does one need to take per week before they start replacing their job with this?
It's a weird question.
Hard to say, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's a weird question because when you before you do it, that's the question that you ask. And
Right.
then it's like, I don't know. It's like a lot of other things. Once you do it, you're like, how much can I do this? Like I want to do this a lot.
Okay.
And so I mean, if you could do this, before work, like look online and see if you find deals. You can do this at work, at lunch, meet up with people and get deals.
Okay.
And then you can meet up with somebody after work, obviously, right? So in a way, these things don't take a lot of time. And let's say let's say you just carved out a little bit of time each week to find 2 deals and you make $200.
Okay.
So it's like at some point you're thinking, wow, like that's $800 a month.
Yes.
But then your brain doesn't just say, wow, let's just make $800 extra for the rest of our life.
Yeah. Right.
It says like, I'm going to wake up a little earlier or stay up a little later and look for deals. And I'm going to put up these ads using this money that I made. But I'd say someone could really, really do well. And let's say like, depending on how good you're currently doing at your job. See, side point is like the better you're currently doing at your job, the less attractive something like this would seem.
Right.
Like golden handcuffs, So if you're already making 80 grand, 120 grand, a lot of those types of people have trouble wrapping their mind around something like this because they're like, I already make $1,500 every day. Or my bad. That's way more. $1,500 a week. Sorry, $1,500 a week just to go up.
Okay.
And so making an extra $200-300 a week won't quite appeal to them. So I guess to circle back to your question is, when I start a side hustle, I like to start with like 30 minutes to an hour a day.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
And the litmus test is like, if I keep doing it, then that means I want to do it.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
I don't, then it just means, good try. I'll try something else.
I like that answer, man. You gotta start small, and something that you pointed out that's very important. If you're a guy who's making 80 to $100,000 a year, I mean, unless you have a job you absolutely hate, and you have what I would say 18 months of expenses saved up, your 401k is strong. If you're well off financially, and you make great money, and you make great money and you hate your job, this could be for you. But just like you said, the better you're doing financially at your job, regardless of how much you hate or like your job, the less attractive something like this is going to be. So what we're really the guys we're really talking to are the guys who are making 35, 40, 45, $50,000 a year. That to me seems to be the sweet spot. Am I wrong?
No, that's the sweet spot. And one of my goals when starting this was like, I want to flip up the totem pole.
Okay.
And so what I've learned, and who the people that I've found along the way, is I found people that flip entire dealerships worth of cars.
Whoa.
They
Wow.
buy land and they subdivide it and they sell off the parcels.
Sure.
So like flipping a phone is really the same as doing all those things.
Sure.
And so if you are currently making a lot of money and you want to surpass that, but you don't want to risk a lot of money, then doing something like this would be like a practice round for doing something, much, much larger. And like almost every guy in this, especially in this space, is wanting to drive like the nice and fancy cars. Well,
Of course.
the problem with all those cars is that they're liabilities, but they don't have to be.
Okay. And
Until I started flipping stuff, I never saw myself really driving a nice car, because
Okay.
I'm like, I always was like, I could just invest that money in something else. It just the part of me that doesn't want to be noticed is very strong.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
So
you're a
it's
very
like,
low profile guy.
yeah, it's like if I could have the nice car, but it look like it only looks really awesome to me, so like no one
Yeah.
else would.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you know how it is. Like I've driven in nice cars with people before, and so like
Sure.
people are like waving at you and stuff, and it's just like,
Yeah, that's overrated.
I don't necessarily want that.
Okay.
I don't want that for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
Now, if I'm buying and flipping cars, that's exciting as hell, and
Okay.
I would gladly drive the best cars in the world.
Okay.
So that really changed my perspective. So the guys that are making more money, yeah, if you're making 80 to 100 grand a year, you still aren't buying a Lambo cash type money. You're
No.
still not like, buying out penthouses and things like that. So
Right.
the ideal would be like to flip penthouses and to flip those nice cars up to the fact that you have one and you're not paying to have one. So it's like, how can you have everything in life at no expense or right now? So that's what I would say to the guys making more money.
So explain to me what you talked about. You said I could drive the nicest car, because really, really high end cars are liabilities. How are they not a liability when you are flipping cars? Explain that to my audience.
Well, like the first example I have offhand,
Mhm.
I have two examples. My buddy
Okay.
has a Shelby. He buys and sells cars, and
He has a what? Who?
he has a Shelby truck. They make,
Oh,
like,
dude, I thought you were gonna say Shelby Cobra. I was about to
No,
end
no,
this.
no.
I was about to end this right now and hit your boy up. Holy shit.
No, it's not. It's cool, but it's not that cool. I think they make like 500 of these a year though, so it's
Oh,
a
okay.
pretty low production model, and it's like
Okay.
a souped up F-150 that Ford makes.
Okay.
And yeah, he's driving it around until it sells, and I think he said he'll make 5 or 10 grand off of it.
Wow.
And if if you're into trucks, like you would see that and be like, dude, wow. Think about 500 in the entire world, and here's one of them driving down the street.
Yes.
And so, and then another buddy, he'll buy like super high end cars, and he'll do something to the effect of like get all the options.
Okay.
And then it turns out like only 6 people did that year. So
Mhm.
he can realistically say, or like legally say, there's only 6 like this made.
Oh,
So then that car
course.
appreciates in value. He calls his
Yes,
401k.
yes.
So like 128 of them or something.
Wow. See,
So
I like
it's
that.
like,
That's very creative.
yeah, this guy's like off the charts like that. But it's kind of like there's people are always saying like, oh, like you either dress like a douche like Bill Gates,
Yeah,
or you
right.
dress like some extreme rapper that has no money but is like $400,000 on his body. And my buddies pulled off like, okay, how do I like look nice, wear nice clothes, and make money off of that? So it's like the third option, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I like that.
So
That's a good mindset, right? If you know you can buy the nicest cars, have the nicest things, but still be able to make money off of that when you flip it, you're never really driving the same car. It stays exciting and you're making money.
yeah, that's
Wow.
exactly it, man.
I like that. Ronald Suarez, $5 super chat says, man, I've been doing things like this since high school. I would have never wanted to share the hustle. Thank you, guys. I like that. Dr. Thunder with $5 super chat says, this is solid gold. That is going to bring this Side Hustle Saturday to a close. Next week, JD and I are going to discuss, and I haven't even discussed this with him yet, how to not get scammed doing side hustles. I know a lot of guys have a lot of crazy stories. Let me go back up here. One
Somebody said they got scammed, yeah.
Yeah. He said something. Oh, here it is. Fresh Fit 820 says, I remember I was scammed into buying an iPhone 8 back in 18. Turns out it was a fake. So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the guys about how to not get scammed in side hustles. Any last words where they can find you, websites, Facebook groups, etc.?
Smart Flippers is my, easiest one to find on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the spot.
Okay, very good. Smart Flippers on Facebook. Next week, we're going to talk about how to not get scammed. Thank you guys for watching, I guess, the very first episode of Side Hustle Saturdays. We will see you next week at the same time. Take care, guys.